Hello, everybody. Welcome to 1985, Providence, Rhode Island.
Oh,
when I was 16,
God.
I fell in love for the first time. Wonderful. Big winner of this podcast is going to be Jonathan Richman, and the songs, I have to say, not to play my deck too early. Today is There Something About Mary Day.
Are you going to the prom?
I don't, I think proms
Because
are
I thought maybe
dumb.
we could go together.
Oh, you're gonna go with like a bunch of people, or yeah, you want like a designated driver, right?
No. I mean, you and me, we could go together.
When I was 16 years old, I fell in love.
Oh, no, I was...
Ow! We got a bleeder! Are you okay, Ted?
It was definitely love.
About Mary again.
I mean, crushes don't last for 13 years, right?
He couldn't help it.
Hi, it's Ted.
I haven't seen you since
Senior prom.
How's everything?
Oh, that's fine. Strong like bull.
It's a holiday. It's national. Why isn't it a holiday?
Find your girl, and I did. And then the truth is, I started to like her.
Because there's something about Mary.
She's still a fox.
Mary's a fox. She's a fox.
I want a guy who can play 36 holes and still have enough energy to take me and my brother to a ball game.
This year,
It's too bad you don't live here, Ted.
20th Century Fox presents
If Puppy likes him, then you got yourself a keeper.
I'll slip that pooch a special treat.
He doesn't like anybody. He never usually likes guys.
a new comedy
Come on, boy.
from the Fairley Brothers, directors of Dumb and Dumber and Kingpin.
Would you like a little clam dip, doll?
Whatever.
Cameron Diaz, Matt Dillon, Ben Stiller.
You okay? Hell is wrong with you? All right.
There's something about Mary.
What, there's something about Mary?
Yeah, there's something about Mary Day.
I don't think it has that much of a widespread following.
I think people love There's Something About
Oh,
Mary.
no, they do, but not on a national scale.
There's a La La Land Day in Los Angeles.
Oh, and there's a Groundhog Day, isn't there, as well?
Well, but that's
Yeah.
not because of the film. There's a Groundhog Day is Groundhog
They named
Day.
it after the film.
Strike up the music, the band has begun. Dun, 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 the Pennsylvania polka. Where do you sit on Groundhog Day? I don't think this has come up. You don't like it,
It
do
has.
you?
It has come up. It has come up.
You don't like it, do you? I do remember this.
Yeah.
Is it just because of Andy McDowell, or
It's not solely. The whole premise just irritates and frustrates me, and
You're like my
I
sister.
don't think it's Bill's best.
what would you say is Bill's best? Because I think pretty firmly that is. I think we see every facet of Bill so wonderfully. The hearts, the humanity. Actually, no, Rushmore. Rushmore, Groundhog Day, Caddyshack. Cinderella Story.
What, are you completely dismissing Scrooged and Ghostbusters?
Oh, this is tough. Right, okay, I'm going to go. Rushmore.
You love Scrooge.
I do. I love Scrooge to an inane. It's that weird Christmas thing, though, isn't it? Like, I forget about it because it doesn't only pop into my head for December, but it's like, you sort of forget about. It's like when you're ranking your greatest films of all time, and you think, well, no, actually, It's a Wonderful Life is probably in there, but it never crosses your mind because it only comes up in December time. Actually, we've already talked about Scrooge and It's a Wonderful Life because this episode is coming out on the 1st of December.
How was your Christmas, Tom?
I had a wonderful Christmas. I got everything I could have ever wanted. I'm now happily in a relationship.
Oh.
We're going to be married. I don't know if she wants us to announce it here, but there's a baby on the way.
Oh, Christ.
Our first podcast baby.
Our first podcast baby. Well, she'll be popping up soon enough. And with the BBC have accepted all of my proposals. And John Hamm's on board. So my remake of The Fugitive with John Hamm is a go. How was your Christmas, Ava?
Fine.
Is this too silly? Is this too silly for Ava Robinson? Today we're talking about There's Something About Mary, a comedy that I've always loved. I think, in actuality, I think you could put this in front of anybody. Because I think it's not only an incredible comedy, but I think it has incredible heart. I think it really is a great... I think people, because it leans more to the comedy than the rom, I think people neglect that this is one of the better rom-coms. Because I think the romance in this film and at the heart of it is great. And I think in actuality, it's like When Harry Met Sally. Harry and Sally and Greg and Mary. Ted and Mary, Jesus Christ. Greg. It was Greg. Ted and Mary.
Meet the Fockers.
That's it, yeah.
That's it.
Gaylord Fokker. Yeah, that's my name. Yeah. Fokker Wall of Fame. I think they're great, realistic couples. Well, we'll get to whether Mary's too perfect later in the film. Ava, you sharing this adoration?
Yes. Yeah, I can't remember the first time I watched it specifically, but it is now a firm staple in my family. We all adore it, know it inside out, and, could easily, happily watch it anytime.
I remember watching it fairly early, probably around 10, 12-ish, but my mum skipped the wanking scene. But apart from that, everything else was fair game.
So you saw Magda's boobs?
Yeah, yeah. But no, she also skipped her blowing him, Chris Elliott's wife blowing him. But that's like a 20-second gag. So he ended up missing most of the next scene because she was like, oh, because by the time that she popped back down, it was over. And in actuality, I didn't know what was happening. Alas. Will, what's your relationship with There's Something About Mary?
This is my first time watch.
What? Oh, God.
I knew it.
We said this before you came. We were bitching about you, Will, and we said, oh, God, I hope he's not like, oh, it's my first time. Have you seen any of the other Farrelly movies? Are you a Dumb and Dumber head? Are you a Kingpin guy?
I've not seen any of them.
Me, Myself, and Irene?
I've not seen that.
Yeah, you haven't seen Me, Myself, and Irene yet, have you, Ava? Because
No.
you're less of a Jim Carrey person than you are. But you do love Renee Zellweger.
Me?
Or do you?
No.
Do you not?
No.
Oh, you famously don't. I forget this.
Yeah.
Have you seen Jerry Maguire?
Yes. Tom, we've talked about
How can
this.
you not fall in love with Renee Zellweger in Jerry Maguire?
No, I just don't. Sorry.
It's all right. I didn't make it. I'm not Cameron Crowe. You don't have to apologise to me. So, Will, what did you think of There's Something About Mary?
I thought it was very good. I wouldn't say it was my favourite Stiller, but it was many moments when I laughed out loud, very loudly, which is always a big plus sign for me. That's
what would you
I
say
know.
is your Stiller? Your
Tropic Thunder is very good.
upcoming
Good
episode of Tropic
choice.
Thunder.
I'm a massive
reuniting
Night at-
the
yeah.
Trinity.
I'm a massive Night at the Museum franchise fan. I love those
Oh,
films.
fair enough.
Zoolander's great.
Zoolander
Yeah.
is great.
Yeah. And I'm a big Along Came Polly fan. I love Along Came Polly.
I like them.
Here's a question. Okay, I always not equated, but associated Along Came Polly with Something About Mary. Maybe it's the names and the Ben Stiller, but I've always owned them both. But this, for me, and I recently rewatched Along Came Polly like a month or two ago, but Something About Mary for me is like, if I were to choose between them, because I associate them,
they're very similar.
I'm Mary all the way.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, like it. Along Came Polly, like I adore Philip Seymour Hoffman. He's the best part of that movie. But you can't. It's like I can't compare them, but I do associate them. So that's a good point.
We might end up watching Along Came Polly today because we've got.
Very good.
We're babysitting, and she's currently rewatching all her Friends. No, sorry, currently watching all her Friends, and I was like, oh well, she can't watch Scream.
Yeah, she can. How old is she?
She's 9.
That's fine.
My child, I'll show. I can definitely show my kids like Halloween. There's hardly any blood in it. Scream's a bit difficult. Scream famously also stars W.L. Warren. Warren in this film.
Oh yes, as Kenny.
Kenny. And I was like, she can't watch Scream. What else can't she? And then I was going through and I was like, well, we can't watch all of The People versus O.J. Simpson, and I think a little bit of it would go over her head.
You can watch 17 again.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what a film.
What a film.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good choice.
Mm. Yeah, but that's got the weird scene where it takes the Back to the Future gag too far.
Oh, yeah.
And she actually tries to have sex with her dad.
Yeah.
It's not just a kiss.
I don't like
or
it.
just fast forward that bit.
Just do Along Came Polly, Tom. Do Along
Came Polly. But I won't be. How can I skip the? Just have a spanker a little.
Oh my god!
Because that's the best part. I'll be lying to myself if I skip that film.
Did you just spank me? Right.
Rest in peace, Philip. What a wonderful, incredible.
Yes.
We have popped our Philip Seymour Hoffman cherry on the show with the wonderful Doubt. What's the next? I think. Well, coming later in the year is our Paul Thomas Anderson rundown, where we're gonna just see Philip Seymour Hoffman knock it out after knock it out. You know, great Boogie Nights, Magnolia, Punch Drunk Love. You know, all incredible movies. The Master. Oh, what a film! But let's go back to There's Something About Mary. So let's kick us off with 10-minute stretch. Will, why don't you kick us off with 10-minute stretch?
Oh, I would love to. Two 10-minute stretches in particular for me stood out. That the whole wanking zipper scene. That 10 minutes is very nice.
The wanking zipper scene. Which scene? The zipper scene or the wanking scene?
So both.
Oh right,
they're close enough. I've 10 minutes. Yeah.
They're not close enough. They're on two different parts of the opening scene and the scene about an hour 20 in.
Oh, yeah. The zipper scene, then. The zipper scene.
Okay.
Because that goes on when you get the policeman coming in and then the fireman and everyone comes for a look and they all have the exact same reaction. It's great.
Yes, I have 1985, even though it's 17 minutes where we flash over to Richard Jenkins. I've been naughty. And I've that 1985. Just wonderfully meeting all the characters. The incredible Keith David meeting Ted at the door, and she left with Woogie an hour ago. And my favourite specific part of that is Ted looking to check if he's at the right house.
It's a house, yeah.
And he goes, oh, it's wonderful. And God, how beautiful does Mary look in that prom dress? I when she walks down the stairs and we have that incredible Jonathan Richman sort of xylophone score coming back in, and you get it. You can see why everybody falls in love with her. Oh, it's so perfectly in that 17 minutes. Can you imagine this film if it was miscast? What if it was, I can't think of an example, but what if it was
Julia Roberts.
Yeah, if this was Julia Roberts as Mary, it just wouldn't work. Everybody, that's why Pretty Woman doesn't work. Why does everybody like her? Why does
Pretty Woman works.
actually my best friend's wedding doesn't work because why does Dermot Mulroney even consider leaving Julia Roberts for Cameron Diaz? No, sorry, other way around. You've got Cameron Diaz there in. I think was that her first? It was definitely her first big role. I can't remember whether it was
No, The Mask was her first role.
Yes, yes.
Oh.
And then
Yes.
I watched that yesterday.
The Mask is great. I've always loved The Mask.
Great.
Oh, yesterday there was like a snippet of Jim Carrey and I was like, oh my God, it's you.
Which
like,
part?
No, it was, I mean, there's so much, but it was when it's when he was talking to Peggy when she was like waiting for the bad guys to get there, and he's like telling
as
her
the
about...
Mask or as Ned?
No,
Ned Schneebly?
It's Stanley.
No, that's School of Rock.
School of
That's
Rock.
School of Rock. Stanley Ipkiss. That's it.
Oh my God. Yeah, and it's you. I think it's you, and then like also you acting, like your acting style.
Yeah, I know
It's
exactly what you mean.
It's a fine
Yeah.
line. Oh, Will, do you want to hear the good news?
Have you
Even-
passed?
Yes, I don't have gonorrhea. No, the joke doesn't work because I haven't been laid in months. No, but but it's Christmas now, so maybe it's happening every day.
Oh my God.
But I forgot what I was. Oh yeah, Ava watched Caddyshack again, and she admitted that I have a Chevy Chase aura.
You do. You are Chevy Chase.
And then, what was your quote, Ava? If you're willing to admit that that you have the impression of an arrogant asshole, then I'm sure you're happy, or whatever you said.
Yes.
Oh, you can't.
I say you're similar to Chevy Chase in the fact that everyone who's ever worked with you despises you.
No, everyone who's ever worked with me likes me. Everybody who just sees me or whatever despises me. if they just because people famously, I used to do the quizzes.
Famously.
Actually, I'll have you know that me and my ex.
Oh, you're famous at the cricket club.
Yeah, no, actually, not at the cricket club, Ava. This was at my Pontefract New College, where I used to do the quizzes. Me and my ex were waiting for a train for a weekend to Liverpool, and a guy came up to me and said, "You're the quiz guy, aren't you?" And I said, "Yes, I am." Yeah, and we had to stand and talk with him for 5 minutes. And that's not even it. Me and my ex went to KFC. And my ex got quite jealous because the lady was like, "Oh, you're the quiz guy." It was so. I'll have you know that in certain circles, I am.
Yeah, no, I've been recognised too, but not for fucking quizzes.
What have you been recognised for?
For the films I did in Chicago. Someone came up to
Okay.
me and they're like, "I know your face," and I was like, "Please go away." And they're like, "Oh yeah, I just saw a screening." So,
Okay, yeah, that's good.
I was in London the other day, and I was sat at Starbucks, and a drunk guy came up to me and complimented my hair. So we're all winners.
You win,
Yeah.
Will.
Just like Hot Chocolate sang, "Everyone's a winner, baby, that's the truth." So we've got the jizz and the zipper. Any other notes on 1985 before we move on to some other nominations for 10-minute stretch?
So I worked all summer to pay off those debts, and I never saw Mary again. That was, what, like 13 years ago.
No, that's very interesting.
Anyway, I know it's not the type of thing you'd forget, but I guess I kind of, I must have blocked it out of my head or something, because I was driving down the highway last week, and I started thinking about Mary, and all of a sudden it was like I couldn't breathe. I mean, I felt like I was gonna die. So I pulled off the road and I just sort of stopped in this, I guess it was a rest area. I was just kind of shaking and...
You know, rest areas are homosexual hangouts. Highway rest areas. They're the bathhouses of the 90s for many, 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 many gay men.
I'm trying to think.
The incredible Ted's first lovely gesture to Warren with the baseball. It's like, is it a big white one with red stitching? I also love the button that the baseball like gets thrown under the couch or whatever. So then he's like, it was here, and Keith David. It's just like,
what baseball?
What baseball? And then my favourite little bit of that is where he goes, the bathroom is that way. The bathroom is that way. And then,
no, my favourite bit is, in terms of quotes, is Franks and Beans, echoed by Warren, and then at the end when he's getting carried out,
yes, he was
Warren
masturbating.
is backwards, he was masturbating. That is the best for me.
Let's throw this in now. I think she's got 3 airings this week. I hope she's listening. When I first showed this movie to my ex, she quote unquote said, "I was worried when it started and Warren came on, but by the end of it, there was no worry, because actually, I think people sort of talk about this film as dated, but I actually don't think it is. I don't think any of the humour is actually at the expense of Warren being mentally challenged. The humour is always at the expense of Healy. Like all the big jokes about the Warren and the nearly exceptional centre is because Healy's whacking him out the way, and the great monologue where he's trying to impress Mary and he calls him retards. It's always at his expense.
Yeah.
It's I really do think, and maybe you can definitely talk about how it's not great that Warren isn't, from a 2020 lens, you can say representation-wise, maybe you could have cast somebody who's mentally challenged in the role of Warren. But in actuality, I think, and I watched a whole 5-minute interview this morning from the guy who plays Warren, and he was talking about it, not like it was a big comedy slapstick thing. He really went into the history about how, I presumed he had a bit of cerebral palsy, I presume he had brain damage. Here's a fun fact. So Warren, and again, it comes from a place of heart. The Farrelly brothers added the character of Warren because down their road was a Warren, named Warren, and he was mentally challenged, and he was one of their great friends. And he's actually in the movie. He's Freddie, the guy with the guy with the beard, and and the spots who kisses Mary when he gets the burgers. So in actuality, I think my ex was right to be worried and then be okay by the end. So let's talk about more 10-minute stretches. Will, have you got any others?
Yay! I've got Healy killing the dog and then trying to revive it, going into meeting Lee Evans at the architect.
I bet you loved Lee Evans, Will, didn't you? I bet you loved
I was about
Lee
to bring this up. You hate Lee Evans, don't you?
I adamantly hate Lee Evans' stand-up. This is the only thing I can bear him in.
You like him in Planet of the Dead as well?
What? Oh, the
Doctor Who episode.
Yeah. I haven't thought about that in years. I think this is the only thing I like him in, and even then, I've put him in Changes because I just.
Oh no! My favourite Lee Evans is Mouse Hunt. That's a great movie.
Wasn't that a reunion of him and Nathan Lane?
Yeah.
Because when they brought producers to the West End, do you know who was originally supposed to be in the Nathan Lane role, the Max Bialystock role?
Who, Tom? Richard
Dreyfuss.
Oh.
And he was in all of the rehearsals and a week. And then he, they say his back packed in, but it was definitely because of lots of arguments and him being difficult to work with. And they said to Nathan Lane, "We will pay you an inordinate amount of money. Please save," because it was the West End premiere of, at the time, the biggest musical since Phantom of the Opera. I mean, I believe, I can't remember whether Hamilton's beat it at the Tonys, but for a long time, it held the record for most Tony wins. And then so when my grandma and granddad went down to see it, they saw Lee Evans and Nathan Lane, and then
very good.
And then Reece Shearsmith swapped for Lee Evans and did a year, Yeah. You agree with me, don't you, Ava, on the Lee Evans? I think we both, not sorry to speak for you, but I think neither of us hate Tucker. I think we both hate Norm.
Norm is my biggest change. Lee Evans, fucking American accent is diabolical. Okay, the one thing that I laugh at is his pizza delivery ID photo. Like that's hysterical. But even like I feel like I'm like why is Lee Evans there? Like even for Tucker, like I'm like it doesn't link up for me. Like why is he there?
I have a play which I wrote called Clara, which I've always envisioned Ava in the leading role, and that's got an accent. Sorry to ruin the twist, but that's got an accent shift, and you've got to be so perfect at both accents, because obviously Tucker works because he's just doing his normal voice, because he does. Oh, I'm all so sweaty. Look at me. And but obviously Tucker works. I like Tucker. I mean, my mum also hates Lee Evans in this film. Because for some reason she hates
does my mum. Yeah.
She hates Norman Wisdom for no apparent reason, and she goes, "He's trying to be Norman Wisdom, and I don't like him either." Yeah. So, but talk about your 10-minute stretch, Will. The meeting of Tucker.
Yes, I've just sandwiched that onto the end of the best part of that 10 minutes, which is Healy trying to revive the dog, which is hilarious. But also, once architects are mentioned, I've got to get that in.
Yeah, Mary must be your perfect woman, Will, because she has a lady boner for architects.
We're great.
I wish she was like an architect. Did you go, oh, Mary?
I'm Matt.
In what situation would you say the phrase, keep calm, I'm an architect?
If someone's just maybe like had an accident.
Or building a bad house.
They've just been run down by a car. Keep calm, I'm an architect. What the fuck's that got to do with legs hanging off? Yes, it's a hilarious scene. I have both dog scenes in single minutes, so we can table that for then. Any other nominations, Will, for 10 minute stretch?
That is it.
Ava.
I think definitely 1985 opening, as we mentioned. It definitely comes to 10 minutes. I like when Healy first goes to Miami and you first see Mary when he's following around her day, that introduction I like, has a good flow to it. And then also, this would probably suit more of a, weirdly specific fave part of the film, but I adore the ending credits, Build Me Up Buttercup.
Incredible. Yeah. I've got it in single minute. I mean, let's just talk about it now. Let's throw the categories away. What an ending to a film. I mean, I remember when my mother and sister went to go watch Hannah Montana the movie, and my mum's review was, they ripped off something about Mary. They all danced to a song.
Well, they all do it now, don't they? They did it in Evan Almighty as well.
Are you saying they're all doing it now, Evan Almighty from 2001?
Kids these days are all doing it.
The 80s were only 20 years ago.
The kids love Evan Almighty. Jim Carrey does his Sammy Davis Jr. impression in it, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Who can take a rainbow, mix it with a sigh? Great stuff. Okay. Any other 10-minute stretches over?
I don't. Oh, this doesn't come. It's probably like a 5 minute, so it falls short. Or maybe this could be like. It could be any category other than this. So maybe I'll just not talk about it. Yeah.
You can tell it. You can do it whenever you want to.
I love. It's longer than a minute, definitely. But the what's the song? History repeating. So the montage of when Ted's like finally with Mary and they're like at the ballpark, they're doing the go-karts, like that I love. Like that for me.
The word is out.
Rewarding.
Something's revolving.
Yeah.
Anybody, never usually likes guys.
Puffer doesn't like bad guys, does he? Puffer.
I know he's a little different, but that's what I like about him. He dresses like a complete dork. He chews with his mouth open. Hardly ever says the right thing.
I work with retards.
She's a little chubby.
Oh, I'd say about a deuce and a half. Not bad.
And I'm not fit to touch the hem of your garment. No, I'm not fit to touch the hem of your garment.
I get a high from helping all God's creatures. You expect me to believe this is a straight stalker case?
Yeah, great montages in this entire film. Yeah. Two of my nominations are, the history repeating montage, and the "Is she really going out with him?" montage.
That's good.
With Healy, and the great teeth payoff. William Goldman, who we've just we've just celebrated. We've had all of Christmas.
We have,
but William Goldman was pretty adamant that this film should have been nominated for Best Original Screenplay. This is one of the great screenwriters of our day, and he was basically adamant that this is one of the best screenplays of all time. And I think it is. You look and you see there's not a wasted line, there's not a wasted setup. Even all the little Wogowski little setups, oh, I heard about that. Well, I was only 4 times over. All those little setups. I think it's one of the great reveals of I won't say it's up there with Guys Soze.
You're Woogie?
Yeah. Damn it, Wogowski. Is it Wogowski or Wogowski? I can't remember.
Woganowski.
That's it. It's neither. I also have the Ted's date. And I'll include in that the lovely little date they have with the meats on the sticks. The meats on the sticks conversation.
Yeah.
Because, as I say, they're a great couple. It's a bit, it's realistic. It's great stuff. But for me, there is just no doubt about it. The greatest 10-minute stretch in the entire film is the hitchhiker and then the interrogation.
Yeah.
I think the interrogation scene is one of
I put that in my minute.
Favourite comedy scenes of all time. I put that on YouTube every other week just when I'm feeling down, because it is just the most impeccable delivery of guilty as charged,
I just love how sweaty he is, and he's always
he's
wiping himself down.
Yeah.
Is this what this is about? The hitchhiker? Why did you do it?
I don't know, boredom. I mean, look, I know this is like the Bible Belt down here, but where I'm from, this is like not a big deal.
How many? Oh, I don't know. Like my entire life? 20? 50? Who keeps track?
Keeps track, yeah. You're gonna cry.
He was just a real blabbermouth, and he just kept going on. I think, and the incredible hitchhiker scene. Oh.
It pisses me off so much.
Why?
Because it's just like if that, okay, when that's over, like one of my favorite quotes is, step into my office because you're fucking fired. It's like, that's funny, but like, and then also when he's like, no, when like Ted suggests,
where he slightly twitches.
He's like
6-minute abs. That's right.
I just get too annoyed by it. I don't like laugh anymore. I know that's dark.
It's weird. I laugh when I'm watching it with people, but when I'm on my own, I don't know why I forgot the line, but I burst out laughing on I work with retards. Isn't that a little politically incorrect? Sure, but nobody's going to tell me who I can't work with. Yeah. I burst out laughing out loud. I don't know why I forgot the line. Just flawless. That all scene's great.
It's just the character is so. I love Healy's
Pat Healy,
so well written.
What a guy. Matt Dillon, who was dating who at the time, Ava?
Cameron Diaz.
Cameron Diaz.
Oh, there you go.
And they split shortly after the film was released. What's you're usually up on this sort of gossip, Ava. Who did Cameron Diaz go on to date? What was her relationships? Who was her? What famous relationships?
This was 98, and she dated Jared Leto. I want to say.
Did she?
I would think it's early 90s, but I want to say it might have been like after this, like early 2000s. I'll look it up. It wasn't long. It was
you
maybe
look up
a year.
Cameron Diaz. I'll look up Matt Dillon. I mean, famously, you know, I think more so the reason go on.
Relationship from 1999 to 2003, and at one point they were rumored to have been engaged.
Who's she with
so
now?
It was directly after. She's married, I want to say.
I feel like the trajectory in all these like movie stars is they date a few famous people and then they marry somebody you've never heard of.
She's married to Benji Madden.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. So,
who is a musician. He's a musician.
Yeah. It's like Catherine O'Hara. Well, no, Catherine O'Hara never had a famous relationship. Do you know who Catherine O'Hara's married to? Bo Welch, who's the set designer for all of the Tim Burton movies. And he also directed Cat in the Hat.
Yes, I think we've talked about that before, haven't we?
Probably. It's one of my favourite fun facts. Dylan is an aficionado and collector of Latin music with a large collection of vinyl, including a notable library of Cuban 78s. But I've nothing on relationships, I'm afraid. Okay, let's move on from 10-minute stretch to, I believe it's Tom's Wheeler's specific favourite parts of the film.
You'd be correct.
Mary on the bike. What an introduction. You'll have noticed this, Ava, because we're both spectacularly anal people. Have you noticed that Mary in the opening...
You see her.
Yeah, you see her walk.
When they're in the tree.
And Tommy Drumboy looks at her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only noticed that like this year. In all the years I've watched this, I noticed it earlier this year for the first time ever.
Yeah. I only noticed it yesterday. And yeah, so what's happening there? Did they think that they needed a better pickup shot and they needed the bike? Because they don't talk about it on the audio commentary.
No, I mean, I'm sure, you know, with their, you could argue they're very anal in terms of the style of their films and how specific and stylized an opening that is in terms of their song and how it's one continual shot. I'm sure that I'd be very surprised if it like slipped past them or it was an accident. Because she could be walking to go and get her bike.
No,
because then she parks her bike and then walked into school.
Yeah. And where's her bike when they're walking home?
Yeah, true.
Yeah. My turn, Warren.
Piggyback
rides. My favourite line in the whole zipper scene, because every line, it just, you know, it heightens and it heightens. But my favourite line, without a shadow of a doubt, is, how'd you get the zipper all the way to the top? There's, for some reason, on my DVD, there is a special feature called Behind the Zipper with Magda, where Lynn Shay gets fully Magda'd back up. She gets all tanned again. Lynn Shay, you may also know as the spiritualist from the Insidious movies. You won't recognise her because she's not tanned.
She's in Kingpin too.
Yeah, she's in them all. It's great. Oh, she's in all movies. No, she's in all the Fairly movies. But and she's playing Magda, and she's talking about what to do if you get caught. And they go to real paramedics and then real psychologists. So if you ever are caught like that, Will, don't yank it down. Pack it up with ice and go to the hospital. The other doctor said that balls are very good for healing, so there would be limited damage. I like that throwaway line that Mary says, "Are you all right down there?" And
he's like, strong like bull.
Yeah, well. I I mean, it's a classic line, but it's still great. We got a bleeder!
It's just very well paced.
It's exceptionally well paced. It's an incredible film. Well, me and Ava talked about this before we started. She's what? Speak for yourself. So that was rather, you were talking about the pace of the film. That you noticed something this time.
For the first time, I was surprised at how long it continued to go on for, and not in a negative way, because I know exactly what scene's coming next, how long it lasts, all of that. But for the first time, I was watching it downstairs, and my family were in and out, and they were like, "Oh, is it still on?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, it is." And Tom and I agreed how in the second hour, even though it flows well,
it's like
I think it's the hotel bit.
Yeah, it is. I agree.
When they arranged to meet.
The jacking off, I don't know what it is. I guess it's funny, but it's never...
I don't find it funny.
Yeah. No, but it's never... I know it's the famous gag, and the tagline for the film was "Love is in the hair," but it's never been my favourite.
And when Ted and Mary are at the bar in the hotel, like that for me isn't really needed, because then it's so much more significant when they're out by the pier or whatever, and they're having the meat on sticks convo, and then when they go back to her, it's like that's all perfect.
Yeah.
So
I mean, the bar scene does have the incredible line, "I'm fed up of talking about stalkers, let's talk about you," and it spits into his drink. A really good spit take. I mean, I can't remember which where they're sat, but she needs to talk about Brett Favre.
Yeah.
Around that time.
Oh no, she talks about him when they're
sat
at the
down,
end, when they're on the car having a cigarette.
Yeah. Okay. Magda boobs. I thought it said mega boobs. Just a great gag. I've always found it funny. It's just an incredible gag. I love this. The when they're in the meeting and it's bus crash, 12 kids killed. How does this affect us?
Oh yeah.
I've always liked that. It's just a little background gag. Chris Elliott, we're big Schitt's Creek fans, Ava, aren't we? Roland shit. And have you watched Schitt's Creek yet, Will?
No.
It's great.
Oh,
watch Schitt's Creek. But also, back to Groundhog Day is obviously the cameraman in Groundhog Day.
Yes.
It's great. More Chris Elliott.
Yeah.
Did you know
what's he done nowadays?
He's been in Schitt's Creek for the past 6 years.
That would be it.
You know that his daughter was supposed to be Alexis?
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Yes.
All right.
Because I watched the special documentary.
And it ends well, Will. So you don't have to...
Oh, very good.
So you don't have to sit and go, "Oh, I hope it ends well."
Like Mad Men.
No, because Mad Men ends perfectly, which you'll see.
Okay.
Oh.
If I get to the end.
Yeah.
I'll do it on my own. I don't care. If we're doing bloody old pissing Peep Show, can have some quality.
Peep Show, I think you'll enjoy a lot more than Mad Men, and
I very much doubt
that.
Will
agree.
Do I have a signed picture of David Mitchell next to my bed? No.
I wish I did. That's not even signed. It's pretend, Tom.
It's pretend.
You're living in a pretend
world. I've not brought a woman to this room since my ex, and I'm very excited. When I say excited, slightly worried about what their reaction will be, because it was a gift from the ex. That's not the weird part, but like, what would you do if you saw a framed picture of John Hamm? Maybe they like John Hamm. Maybe they're into it. I don't know.
I've got my signed Ian McKellen painting in
but that's room. Actually signed. I have a fake signed Heath Ledger with 2 bits of film from The Dark Knight. I have a sketch that's supposed to be me as Jack Nicholson's Joker.
My God.
And I have a signed Phantom picture from Earl Carpenter, the first Phantom I went to see in London. Because we went to go see him backstage, but he had a sore throat. So every time he finished, and took his bow, he bolted off to get steroid shots and, you know, lots of stuff to help his throat whilst before the evening performance. Where was we? Specific favourite parts. Yeah, I was pissing too. Yeah, I bet you're all pissing. I love the... Oh, that's what I was going to talk about when we were talking about lagging. Have you ever watched the extended version, Ava?
Oh, I think I watched it at my aunt and uncle's one year in Chicago, but because I don't remember what was like new, but I remember thinking, oh, this isn't right.
I watched the extended edition the other day.
What was in it?
So basically, you've got another scene, right? You know, in Build Me Up Buttercup where he gets shit on.
Yeah.
That's from a deleted scene. Yeah. And so that's when he's talking to Chris Elliott again about how much he loves Mary. There's a few great gags, but we know what they're talking about. And then, you know, the bit in Build Me Up Buttercup where the TV reporter comes up to Ted whilst he's carrying the wardrobe. That's a deleted scene. But the main stuff is Jeffrey Tambor. There's lots of Jeffrey Tambor scenes. And that's why
I love Jeffrey.
I love Jeffrey Tambor too. And so basically he has a huge snake. And he has a huge snake, and then the snake eats him. And he's like, he's clean, and then like the reason his apartment's such a mess at the end is because he started taking cocaine again. And then at the scene where they have where the three of them fight in Tambor's apartment, we think it's Dylan's apartment in the theatrical cut, but it's actually he's staying at Jeffrey Tambor's house. And then it pans over, and the snake is now huge and has a Jeffrey Tambor inside of it. And they're all funny scenes. I hate snakes, so I never watched the extended cut. So I don't like snakes. But I love the scene where they're doing the scripts, and you know how you help those orphans in Sudan. And then the script gets taken away by the dog, and you are on the front line of the genital herpes. I cured a lot of those.
Yeah.
B split. Oh, banana split. When she comes out eating a banana split. Ted crying when he does the, you know, he does the whole chivalrous thing. You know, he does the whole chivalrous thing.
About that, two things to say about the final ending. Adore, I was only boning you to get to Mary.
Incredible.
Like, perfect. And then also, when you know, Ted goes to Mary and they have like their 360 kiss, which is great. Obviously, that's Ben Stiller. But then once you get the sniper POV, it's not Ben Stiller. You can see because Ben Stiller is actually a lot shorter than Cameron Diaz in real life. So, and you can see when you look at the other guy's hair and his build, it's not Ben Stiller.
It's like when in Night and Day, when Tom Cruise had to stand on a box. He just that box stand,
it's all movies. All movies. And the most sweetest little moment when he goes to say goodbye to Warren and he lifts his headphone.
Yeah.
And he trusts
goodbye,
him.
Ted.
He goes, bye, Ted. Bye, Ted. And then Mary sees. And in Build Me Up Buttercup, there is another, you see Warren attack Brett Favre because that scene
oh my God.
Because that scene extends because Brett Favre then goes to Warren and goes, hey, Warren. And then he belts him onto the sofa. And I actually think that maybe is needed to really, to really drive home that, you know, she's picking Ted because Warren trusts him and he doesn't trust Brett Favre. I guess there's a weird comparison between Warren and the dog of like a lot of the love suggestions in this movie are taken off what Warren and the dog, the small reactions
Puffy.
that they have. Oh, I know that it's called Puffy.
Yeah, you called it the dog like 3 times.
Start calling you the dog, Ava, if you keep talking like that.
Then I won't I will exit this call.
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay.
Try me.
Try me. You won't be able to stand us talking about Tropic Thunder without you. So I have every hand. Will.
Hello.
We've only recorded 67
category.
episodes, Will. It's not...
I like how satisfying the noise of golf clubs in a bag are. That's just the general note for me. I love it. Moving on. The opening sort of little animated thing. I like that. That's nice.
What?
The opening credits that are animated.
The opening credits aren't animated, Will.
Leading into him playing guitar on the tree.
They're not animated, they're just, like, written.
Is it not?
They're just written in blue text.
Well, have I watched a special version?
How are they animated?
It's like all in a forest and it's all woodland creatures. And it's all like the caterpillars at the...
What have you watched, Will?
I'm sure you'll find... Well, put it onto the... Well, I've watched the right thing here. Okay.
Woodland creatures? Where did you watch the film?
On YouTube.
What do you mean you watched it on YouTube? As in you bought it?
Yeah.
There's no edit of the film, Will, with woodland... What?
Really? Right, I'm going to... Right.
We'll do Oscar travesty whilst we're here.
Yeah. Well, so...
Clear your name. Best screenplay written directly for the screen. I completely agree with Will Goldman. Keep Truman Show, definitely. But the rest of these are really quite bad. Shakespeare in Love is famously bad. Saving Private Ryan is a good film, but I don't think the screenplay is any of its best attributes. Definitely get something about Mary in there. It's the classic thing about comedies. For me, one of the great supporting actor Oscars is Kevin Kline in A Fish Called Wanda winning, and that gets bonus points because it's a comedy. I mean, the fact that performance was so good and so funny and so great that they couldn't deny him. They couldn't deny giving him the Oscar. It's great stuff. Pretty bullshit year, it has to be said. I think personally I'd go Truman Show as the big winner. I've never been a big Saving Private Ryan fan, I have to say. I think the opening is obviously excellent. The opening is obviously incredible. But I just think it's not as great as everybody makes out. And I think in actuality, it's quite a bad, not a bad film, but I think it's quite an odd one that isn't actually that good and is just an astounding opening 20 minutes. And also, best original song. Where's Jonathan Richman? There's Something About Mary?
Oh, that Prince of Egypt has got to it. I love Prince of Egypt. I want to see it at the West End.
Miracles when you believe. I mean, actually, I think I Don't Want to Miss a Thing's a better song.
That'll do, from Babe, Pig in the City.
Are you a big Armageddon fan, Ava? Because I know you love Aerosmith.
I've never seen Armageddon.
Never seen Armageddon?
No.
You love Willis. You love Aerosmith. Do you love Buscemi? Who doesn't? Of course you do. I forget about Donnie. And
I watched Big Lebowski like 4 days ago.
What an incredible film! What's his Hello Fellow Kids? What's his character called in the best 30 Rock episode of the group?
Len. Len something.
Len something. And then the great, he's a transgender idol.
Oh,
Like at the end when he's like, all my life.
Charlene LaRue. That's his new name. How do I remember that and then not Len's surname?
All my life I thought I was pretending to be other people, but actually I was pretending to be Len. What's his name? And then he's still the school teacher for Chloe Grace Moretz, and he goes, your thing's due on Wednesday. Wonderful.
The best is how do you do, fellow kids?
Incredible. The cookie jar episode is the cookie jar episode sometimes makes me cry. I adore it. We'll get to 30 Rock, there's no doubt about it.
Tom.
Yes.
I've watched the extended version, which starts with the clay animations that blend into real. It's great.
Woodland.
So I win.
So you saw the snake stuff?
Yeah.
Ah. What did you think of the snake stuff?
Poor dog. I liked it.
Yeah, Jeffrey Tambor's great. I just don't like snakes. If it was...
It's not a real snake.
Well, it is it is when he's not eating him. Like when Matt Dillon sits next to the snake on the couch.
Oh, yeah.
Well, his friends would say he's dreaming and living in the past. I forget what the next category is. Oh, Ava, you didn't do your specific favourite parts.
Yeah, I didn't.
Oh, we were trying to figure out the woodland creature debates.
Specific. Oh, I love Puffer's growling teeth when Matt Dillon opens the mail slot. That's great. My favorite exchange, probably just out of sheer sentimental value, is, do you know this guy? He's my brother. I'm her brother.
Oh, yes. You have the lovely shirts, don't you?
Yeah. And a testament to how much that means to me and my family. I got my brother matching T-shirts with mine has a picture of Mary on it saying he's my brother, and his is Warren with I'm her brother. So that I adore. And also no onions when he asks on the burger. And then I think in all of the fights or outrageous slapstick physical comedy scenes, I think I rate I think Puffer and Ted is funnier than Healy trying to revive Puffer.
Definitely. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. I mean, Puffer and Ted won Best Fight at the MTV Movie Awards.
Did it?
Oh my God. But then also I adore Warren and Ted in the opening, of course.
That's great too.
Yeah.
Any other nominations, Ava?
No, other than history repeating montage, which we've already
It's
talked
just
about.
another little bit of history repeating. Will's favourite building or set?
Well, there's quite a few miniature ones that I quite liked. There's a whole architect scene, and I like it. It's very nice. Yeah, I'm probably going to go for the miniature architect buildings. Why not? Have you ever been to a small village where they're all?
Is that what they
What's
call
it called?
them?
A model village.
Oh, a
model village.
No, but I think this came up on the Hot Fuzz episode about my great love for models, even though I've never, had the space or whatever. The great shame, one of the great shames of my life was that my ex left me before I got to see her granddad's huge railway model. Maybe I could ring him up. Hey, I know your granddad left me a year ago, but can I still see your railway set? And obviously Beetlejuice. I don't know what it is. There's just something so I just adore it.
Or Back to the Future.
I know that. Yeah, I'm sorry for the crudity of this.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, I really like models. I agree with you there, Will. What did you think of Hereditary?
creepy models they were. I was half
Creepy
expecting, she was recreating like there's a one shot where she's doing it and she puts her mother at the end of her mother. She places like standing at the door of the end of the bed, and I thought, okay, is that going to happen in real life now? Is she going to see that? That might have been cool.
The hitchhiker told me it was illegal.
Well, can you tell us his name?
No, I didn't catch it. Can we cut to the chase? I mean, am I like in a lot of trouble here?
First, tell us why you did it.
Why I did it?
I don't know.
Boredom. Guy turns out to be a blabbermouth. Just would not shut up. I mean, it just.
Ted, this wasn't your first time, was it?
No.
How many are we talking here?
Hitchhikers? My whole life? I don't know. 25, 50? I mean, who keeps track? Hey, I know this is the Bible Belt and everything, but where I come from, this is not that big a deal. I mean...
You son of a bitch. You're gonna fry.
Well,
we interrupted you, Ava. What were you going to say?
Oh no, I was just going to say in terms of favourite building or set, for me it has to be Mary's apartment. I love it.
It is a nice apartment. Do you not think the colours are a little bit garish?
I mean, I wouldn't decorate. I wouldn't even think of decorating my apartment in those colours.
I can't tell from the cool whites and greys behind you.
I know, but then I think it has echoes of Monica's apartment in Friends because of the purple, which you never really think about.
The best apartment in Friends,
by far. And then also, Miami, the colours. So I think it fits.
What about Ross's apartment for the final 5 seasons or whatever it is?
It's too dark. I don't like. He has like burgundy walls.
Yeah, it does feel a bit like a basement.
Black leather sofas or brown it's too dark. I'd rather Monica's any day.
Okay. Yeah. You're a real Monica. I can't believe I've never realised this. Best single minute. We've talked about the 2 dog scenes. We've talked about Is She Really Going Out with Him? We've talked about Bill Me at Buttercup. The other one I've got is the incredible Healy drinking a beer, telling Ted about Mary for the first time scene. Just
the best line is
deuce and a half.
No, roller pig.
Roller. I've got that best line. No, my favorite. No, my. Oh, what is my? Oh God, I forget it. Just an incredible scene. That's it. No. So she's been married. No, that's the good thing. 3 kids, 2 different guys, no rock. And they're tough little buggers too. Hard to get around in a wheelchair. Great stuff. You guys want to throw anything out for single minute that we haven't already talked about?
Talked about it all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay then, let's jump into best line. What a. Let's go back and forth. We never did YouTube comment.
Okay.
Here we go.
It's all right.
Can you just stick to one? You just said quotes, and now you're going to YouTube. Just stick to one.
All right,
let's do Oscar Travesty again.
My favourite YouTube comment was, ha ha ha, the dog jumped out the window, lol.
That is great.
I'm working on a scene from this movie right now, which I'm doing a really good acting class. Why don't we have, there's something about Mary scenes in our acting classes, Ava?
I know.
What scene could we do? I think I'm Healy, aren't I? If I was getting cast, I'd be Healy.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Or Ted. I think actually.
No, you're more of a Healy.
I am more of a Healy, but I think anybody who's had to listen to me moan about my miserable love life for a year knows that I'm a bit of a Ted.
Yeah, but Ted's not as
goofy.
You're not Words.
Subtle.
Yeah, Ted's more not as outlandish in whatever he's talking about. Even if he's talking about Mary and his pain, like he's more reserved about it.
In a way, that's the worst part of the film, because for a guy like me, it's just like, yeah, no, don't worry, you'll end up back with somebody. Anyway, best line. Really, it's only a side thing for my true passion. We'll talk about that. Ava, we'll do a round robin. Ava.
So one at a time.
Yeah.
Exceptional, my ass. It's in the background. It's an echo.
It is an echo. It's great stuff. I love. Come on, pay up, Warren.
Pay up, Warren. Yeah.
So you admit it. Ah, yeah. Guilty as charged. Look, I know you guys got a job to do, all right, and I'm sorry. The guy even told me, the hitchhiker told me it was illegal. Well,
I've got what the hell's Brett Fair doing here? I'm in town to play the dolphin, you dumbass.
Who? Roller Pig? Are you nuts? You said she was a real spark plug. No, I said butt plug. She's heinous.
Yeah. Oh, I've got so many. I've got like.
Just throw them out. It doesn't matter. We can be here all day.
They don't make movies like they used to. Classics like The Karate Kid.
And Harold and Maude.
Yeah.
The comparison, the comparison of Karate Kid and Harold and Maude. I'm a huge Harold and Maude fan. This sort of leads into my. Well, we'll talk about it in change. But you're married. You have a wife, beautiful kids. Ted, if you love them so much, please be my guest. We got this one kid, Mongo. He's got a forehead like a drive-in movie theater, but he's a good ship. So we don't bust his chops too much. So one day, Mongo gets out of his cage. They keep him in a cage? Well, it's just an enclosure. But they keep him confined? Right, yeah. That's bullshit. Well, that's what I said. And then we'll get to and then those goofy bastards about the best thing I've got going.
Yeah.
Anything else, Ava?
I've talked about No Onions, Franks and Beans, he was masturbating, Strong Like Bull, when Ted says Strong Like Bull. I talked about Step Into My Office because you're fucking fired. And then, 7 chipmunks twirling on a branch, like on my uncle's ranch or something.
The old sea tail.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to go upstairs? Oh.
No, go.
Hey, you want to go upstairs and watch Sports Center? No, I think I'm just going to quit while I'm ahead. You're not that far ahead, Ted.
And then also, I never rate this, but when I watched it the other day, I was like, okay, fine, it's valid. You forgot your keys.
Oh.
At the end, and he's like, okay.
I've always loved it.
Yeah.
For the longest time, I completely thought the ending was completely different. I don't know what it is. Maybe I unconsciously thought it was a better ending. I don't know. But for some reason, for so long, I always thought the ending was, she comes up, you forgot your keys. And then she goes, I'm just fucking with you. And that pays off. But it's not that at all. And I don't know why.
Oh, Christ. What the hell's going on here? Neighbors said they heard a lady scream.
Well, you're looking at him. You gotta take a look at this thing.
Oh, Jesus.
Ain't it a beaut?
What the hell were you thinking? How the hell did you get the zipper all the way to the top?
Well, let's just say the kid's limber.
Ow! Ow! Christ! What the... God!
Somebody's gonna have to move that station wagon in front so I can get the truck in here.
Lenny, come here. Oh, take a look at what this numbnuts did.
Holy shit!
Mike, Eddie, get down here quick. Bring everybody. Bring a camera. You're not going to believe this. We got a kid down here. What's your name?
No,
No, there's only one thing to do here.
What? You know what? I got an idea. Look. I can just. We don't have to do anything because look, I can just wear this over the front. Look, I can go to the prom. We'll deal with it later.
Relax. You already laid the tracks. That's the hard part.
Any of the best lines before we shut shop?
Nope.
Will, any of the best lines?
Let's shut shop.
Let's shut shop. What's the change? Is Mary too perfect? For me, it's mainly the Harold and Maude thing. I don't think, for the rest of my life, I will find a woman so attractive, so charming, so wonderful, who also likes Harold and Maude as much as I do. I just don't see that happening. And I mean, I'm not a sports guy, but for most men, the whole sports thing that she's got going is also, she's like, I know she's supposed to be the dream woman. And that's the whole point of the film, is that she's a woman so incredible and so perfect that you couldn't help but fall in love with her. But is she too perfect to the point of unrealism?
No.
Nobody's perfect.
No, but Mary's pretty good, Will. There's not like a scene, there's no flaw to it. What's Mary's flaw?
I don't think that just because there isn't a explicit flaw that is demonstrated in the movie, that it presents her on like an otherworldly, perfection pedestal, or that's, she's so unattainable, because
no, I think yeah.
She does, she has these relationships, friendships, which obviously are, they have ulterior motives, like Tucker and everything, but it's the way that she interacts with them, like Healy and Tucker and everyone, is so harmless and humanized, so that it's their shit that projects onto her, and she's just dealing with it.
I'm not saying she's not realistic. I think the character is realistic and is. I just think, but it's the point of the film. Just throw it out there. We talked about Lee Evans. I don't like the record scratch on the birds gag. The why do birds suddenly appear? For me, just cut the song. I don't know what it is about the sound effect of a record scratch, but I've always found it cringy.
It's very good in Hannah and the Sisters. That's very good.
Yeah, but that's because it's a real record scratch, because they're trying to kiss and they knock the record.
Oh.
It's not like the...
I thought of another best line.
Oh, God.
Woogie, when he's like, nervous? What's nervous? I don't know what nervous is. Have you ever had a whitehead on your eyeball, Mary? That's great.
Chris Elliott's incredible in the film. He damn near steals it. He doesn't, because he's got... Everybody steals it.
But I think also on what's the change, I think that, it's harmless having it in, but also I don't really think it's necessary. Woogie stealing Mary's shoes.
Oh. That's a Chris Elliott. That's a Chris Elliott add-in. He added the hives and the foot fetish.
Hives, yes, but
I guess he's just a crazy guy. I guess it's just to separate him from Tucker and / Norm and Healy, and make him, give him something that he's a full-blown psycho. Because we've got the arrogant, liar in Healy. We've got the shitheel who's, who's really quite secretly clever, who's secretly clever in Norm and Tucker. And then we have the psycho with Woogie. I've never liked the joke, keep away from the light. And then she puts the Bud Light back in the fridge. I mean, I guess it's funny, but Magda on speed when she lifts the couch. I think that's
that's funny.
Yeah, it's quite funny. It's quite funny. I don't know. I don't want to be too crude, but I guess it's a fairly crude movie. Sperm would never do that. I mean, it would do it to her hair, I guess. There's no way such a perfect amount of sperm could do that to the ear.
It's just making a joke that it goes rock hard. afterwards.
No, I know what the joke is, Will. But the fact, and also the whole, where did it go? Because he never does a big flick. He needs to do like a, and he needs to throw it up in the air. He needs like his hand needs to, but he just, and then he's like, oh, where'd it go? Anyway. Which leads us, that whole sperm scene is never. We've talked about this a little bit earlier, but I've never found it spectacularly funny, and so I guess I'd keep that in changes itself. Anything left from your notes, Will?
I've just got something that annoyed me. There's nothing wrong.
Oh,
with
sorry,
the film.
best change. Yeah, sorry, your changes, Will.
Yeah. Oh, and I'll do the bit where they're at the driving range and he's trying to get in there and he's doing all of his lines, and then he asks, "Oh, do you mind giving him some pointers?" Before he's actually seen her play golf, so he has no idea.
No, he has seen her play golf. He investigated.
Has he?
In the
very good.
In one of the montages.
Okay.
I've
got another note from general parts of the film. I think it's in the extended version that I saw, but there's a scene where Ben Stiller's helping a disabled guy move house.
There's the opening of that in the theatrical, but it extends.
It gets better because he's carrying this really heavy wardrobe up some stairs. And then these news reporters come up to him. "Do you know that you parked in a disabled spot?" And he's just trying to explain, "Yes, I'm helping him move house." But no, I don't think he will. It's great. That's a great gag.
Keep that in. Lose the snake. I don't like snakes.
Yeah,
but keep Jeffrey Tambor. It's a fine line. Ava, any other changes?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything left from your notes, Will?
I just love the mummified dog. That's great.
Yeah.
That's good.
And the fishing hook. That's a great. I love slapstick. That whole montage is great. More slapstick, please.
Warren crashes the go-kart when he was in the costume store. I love it.
Great film. And what's left from Tom's notes? We talked about the soundtrack. We talked about Mary's prom dress. We talked about the great wedding photo reveal with Keith David's big afro.
Yes.
Always
which
wonderful,
you see again.
Which we do. Build me up, Buttercup. Richard Jenkins as the therapist. I adore Richard Jenkins. Let's dive into that next week. Great stuff. Maybe the secret best line of the film, and is because of his delivery. You know that rest areas are very well-known homosexual hideouts. They're the bathhouses of the 90s for many, many gay men. And she's up. What an incredible performance. A lovely, great throwaway gag. I'll have a whiskey sour. And he brings the beer and he goes, ask for a whiskey sour.
Yeah.
Again, not to be too crude, the loaded gun theory, it's true. Makes a lot of sense. I can't remember the last time I had an actual date. So I've never...
Really?
I don't talk about it, do I?
No.
Well, I don't talk about it anymore because it's Christmas time, me and my lover, I'm Bancroft. I mean, me and my lover Anne. And she loves The Graduate, and she loves Harold and Maude, and instead of baseball, she loves musicals. Alternate ending corner, we don't have one. A few fun facts. There's something about Mary. Dropping Ted on the stretcher wasn't scripted when it happened. They cut to make sure Ben Stiller was okay, and then they thought it was so funny that they left it in, and that's why they had to add the shot of Mary going, oh, oh. After the financial losses suffered from Kingpin, the Farrelly brothers thought their next film would probably be their last, so they decided to go all out and deliver the most hysterically black comedy they could dream of. When There's Something About Mary became a box office smash hit, the Farrellys' careers were safe to continue. We talked about Matt Dillon and Cameron Diaz dating. This is Ben Stiller's favourite film of his own.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I can see that.
What? Like his favorite film or his favorite performance?
Favorite film of his own. Oh, true. I don't know.
I mean, either way, it's good.
I'm trying to think of like a really serious film he's been in, because the actors are always like, that's my favorite. Yeah, no, I'm really proud of that one. And I can't think of him. Cameron Diaz's father was on set during filming, so the Farrellers decided to throw him in the movie. In the scene where Ben Stiller is released from prison, Cameron's dad is the inmate in front with a beard and long hair, jeering at Ben. The can of whoop-ass line was improvised by Keith David. According to Peter Farrelly, Cameron Diaz had a better swing than the golfer hired to stand in for her.
Very good.
Cameron Diaz was always the #1 choice to play Mary. Tom's big question, can we see somebody else as Mary? Who else would we cast as Mary?
Jennifer Aniston. She's got a good chemistry with Ben. I love Along Came Polly. Just make more Along Came Polly films.
Yeah, I could see that.
I can see it, but I think
there is something undeniable about her in this.
Yeah, because I'm not saying Jennifer Aniston couldn't do it, but obviously because we're comparing it to Along Came Polly and the sheer differences in character and performance between Polly and Mary, like it's almost like she's always going to be Polly, you know?
Yeah.
But she can see it, and obviously it works tremendously in Along Came Polly.
Pardon me. Bill Murray was originally considered. Oh, go on.
What if it was made today?
Ooh.
I think. Do you know who first person I thought that would be cast as Mary?
Amy Adams.
No. Not far off.
Amy Adams would be my choice.
Isla Fisher.
Emma Stone. That's
don't.
No, but that's who I can see being
they'd cast, yeah.
Mm.
No, because I can see her for the romance stuff, I guess, but I famously don't like the bit in La La Land where she's singing.
No, Iran is probably my favourite scene.
I don't like Iran. I don't like Iran in that scene. I don't like that scene.
And she goes, oh, and she's doing all the bloody dancing. I've never liked it, really. I could see Emma Stone. I'd go Amy Adams. Oh, just put Amy Adams. Amy Adams and Ryan Gosling. Who would Ryan? I could actually see Ryan Gosling as Pat Healy. We'd have to make him less attractive. Who else are we casting? So Ted. Who's our Ted? Who's our Ted today?
Oh,
Timothy Chalamet.
Oh my god.
Ooh, Saoirse Ronan. No, she's too.
I thought of Saoirse Ronan, but then I was like,
and like an Irish girl busting balls.
She definitely has charm, of course, but I'd be interested to see if it would translate to the same kind of like Mary charm, like all American, like all of that, like which obviously Saoirse Ronan.
I think the way to do it is to keep her Irish and have her be like an Irish ball buster. Like, oh, so I'm on a date with you. Like I could see that.
it'd be a great Pat Healy.
Who?
Bill Hader.
Oh no, I'm gonna really flip it.
Oh,
Bill Hader as Ted.
Yes.
Really good. Yes. Turning into Sally. Yeah.
Or Bill and Seth just reprising their roles and coming in as the interrogation detective.
Oh my god, it gets better. None of you have seen the Skeleton Twins yet, even though I know you're both adults.
No.
Kristen Wiig as Mary.
No, I've told you this. I don't like Bridesmaids.
Oh yeah.
I was left cold by Bridesmaids.
Ooh, Rose. Can we make a role for Rose Byrne? I adore Rose Byrne. Rose Byrne's marvelous.
Yeah.
What about Charlize?
She could be one of Mary's friends.
What about Charlize?
As Mary?
Yeah. Did either of you see Longshot?
No.
I really liked Longshot. I saw Longshot twice in the cinemas. One time just because I had nothing else to do, and another time because me and my ex had an argument, and it was like, let's go to the cinema so we don't have to talk to each other for 2 hours' time. Who would have thought it would have ended? I didn't. Anyway, but I thought Long Shot was excellent. Everybody should watch Long Shot. A great rom-com that criminally underrated, I thought. But let's go back to 1998. Bill Murray was originally considered for Pat Healy. I can see it. I think it's a bit old. I think.
Yeah.
But
because then it would be like too creepy.
Yeah. The Farrellys thought he was too old. Hank Azaria, Vince Vaughn, and Cuba Gooding Jr. I can see Vaughn. I can really see Vaughn. Don't know about Hank Azaria.
I can.
Hello, Polly. You for scuba?
I could see him. Agados Sputkas from Birdcage. It'd be. I could see that. The woman asking about class actions is Bobby Farrelly's wife, Nancy. The premiere party was set up like an 80s prom. That sounds great. And I don't know if this is true. On The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, Cameron Diaz admitted to being the dead body inside the bag carried by the hitchhiker. Which I don't think is true, because then in Bill Me Up Buttercup, he's really ragging the thing about.
Well, that is probably a dummy.
Yeah, but if they have a dummy in there for one scene, they're going to just have they're not going to bring
Maybe she did
Cameron
maybe she did like a take or something.
in.
Or was like, oh, like I want to go in the bag.
Imagine how claustrophobic that would be, because they're in that car. Ugh, terrible. Tom's big question: who's the best performance in the film? For me, it's Dylan or Diaz. I think all-round performance, it's probably Diaz. I think pure comedy, Dylan's sweet.
Yeah,
Dylan's good. This is the thing I want to say as well. I'm really sad. Cameron Diaz is like retired now, isn't she?
Yeah,
she's not in a lot.
She's so funny. She's so. I miss her in film. She's so funny.
Not Bad Teacher. I'm not going to go rave about Bad Teacher, but I thought Bad Teacher was watchable. I thought it was quite funny. I thought it tapped a dirty, sexy vein in her comedy performance oeuvre that she hadn't tapped before.
For me, like, my favorite, it's definitely up there with my favorite rom-coms ever. It might take the spot, I'd have to think about it, but I adore her in The Holiday. I love that movie.
Yeah.
That for me, like, it's classic Cameron. Like, that's what I associate her with.
Mask is great.
My
Best Friend's Wedding.
Charlie's Angels, I love.
Yeah, My Best Friend's Wedding is terrible because of Julia Roberts, but it's made semi-watchable by Rupert Everett and Cameron Diaz. Mainly Cameron Diaz doing the karaoke. I just don't know what to do with myself. Badly singing is a wonderful scene, and then Julia Roberts just shits all over it, and you hate her and you don't want her to be with him or. In which world are you rooting for this woman to break up a happy fiancé engagement? It's a bad film. Anyway, why does Ted have a picture of Mary still? When did she give him a picture?
Maybe when she moved away to Florida.
No, because they have the I never saw her again after the zipper.
Yeah, well, she could have mailed it to him, or maybe he cut it out of like a yearbook, even though it's not like a proper yearbook picture. I don't know.
And if he was cutting it out of the yearbook, why didn't he just keep the yearbook?
Yeah, because he wanted to have it in his wallet.
Yeah, I guess that's a bit weird. Imagine how weird this movie would be if you didn't have Jonathan Richman's beautiful score. Because a lot of those songs and pieces of music make the film romantic. What are the three women really laughing at with Tucker at the architects thing? When we first meet Tucker, those three women are just having a ball. And
it's just hilarious, Tom. It's very funny stuff.
Meats on sticks. What other meats on sticks could you have?
Lamb.
I guess, like kebabs are all great.
In Shrek, they have like the rats. Another great Cameron Diaz.
Shrek.
Yeah.
She's great in those.
Chicken.
I could see.
Like, chicken tenders, just shove it on a stick. Or hot dogs, which, is corn dogs, which they're eating. So that's the same thing. But, yeah. Or you can get like... Sorry.
It's all right, shoot.
No, because you know, I know we said kebabs, but like you have, yeah, it doesn't need to be like a what's it called, gyro.
Yeah.
But you could just have, you know, like shish kebabs, like chopped up things.
Yeah.
There are meats on sticks, so that's a bit.
Maybe there wasn't in '98.
World has
I've never had a
evolved.
corn dog. You're an American, Ava. I presume you've had a corn dog. Are they good?
What do you think? My experience of corn dogs is tainted because the last
Super
one I
bad?
had,
Do you know what the best? You know
No.
the best foods look like dicks.
the best kind. Okay, real quick. I was at Disneyland in California when I was like 10 years old, and I didn't eat any breakfast. So I was like in a really, really bad mood, and the only thing I had for lunch was a corn dog. And then by the time it got to like 4 or 5 o'clock, I literally thought I was going to die because I hadn't eaten anything apart from like a few bites of a corn dog. So that was my last experience.
Surely that makes corn dogs better for you because it's like the corn dog was like the
No,
guiding
because-
lights. It was
and
like, oh,
no.
corn dog food.
And like, and Disney corn dogs are like infamous for being fantastic, but like
So they're famous for being fantastic. They're not infamous.
They are.
They're not infamous for being fantastic.
infamous. Oh yeah, I said
No,
infamous.
Hitler's infamous.
Yeah, that's like notorious.
No,
Notorious is bad. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm saying
so's
infamous and
infamous.
notorious is bad.
so's infamous.
No, because infamous is something that's bad, and these corn dogs are good.
Yeah, but you said Disney are infamous.
They're famous.
Yeah, so I should have said famous.
Famous.
I was just boning you to get to Mary. What an incredible way to end a film.
Yeah. And
well-
when you get shot, and yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Just great stuff. Well, any final thoughts on There's Something About Mary?
That's it from me.
Oh, no, okay. Ava, any final thoughts on There's Something About Mary? No, fair enough. Okay.
There you go.
Awesome,
Happy New Year. Have a good.
Oh yes, tomorrow is the.
Tomorrow is the 1st of January.
Oh my god.
Are you off? Where you off to see the fireworks?
What if I'm dead? What if one of us is dead? How miserable will this be if, like, one of us has died? I'm laughing, but
You won't be done.
The whole world might not even be here. None of us might be here.
I'm gonna burn up. Trump's finally blown up something and started World War III. What if Trump...
Oh no, do we know Trump might not even be in office?
Oh
right now.
yes, this is true. So people are either watching this and going, "Ha, they were wrong," or "Hey."
I imagine they do that a lot watching this.
Yeah. Ha, wrong. Ava, it's been a pleasure having you on.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
I can't remember what we're having you on next for. I believe you're making an appearance. You're definitely making an appearance for Tarantino Fortnight.
Yeah.
Our next fortnight after Scorsese Fortnight. Well, we'll be seeing you very soon. Auf Wiedersehen. Auf Wiedersehen. Auf Wiedersehen. And bientôt.
Da ba da ba da ba da.